Let me tell you something right now. If you're tired of being disrespected, walked over, ignored, or underestimated, it's not because of them. It's because of you. And the day you finally take full responsibility for how people treat you is the day your entire life begins to change. If you want to stop being disrespected, the very first and most powerful thing you must do is set and enforce unshakable standards. Not suggestions, not hopes. Standards. These are the non-negotiables of your life. These are the lines you draw in the sand, the rules you live by whether anyone is watching or not. If you don't decide what your standards are, the world will decide for you. And trust me, the world doesn't set the bar high. People treat you based on what you tolerate. If you tolerate lateness, you'll always be waiting. If you tolerate disrespect, you'll always be disrespected. If you tolerate being overlooked, you'll always be invisible. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. That's the truth. Standards are internal. They start with how you treat your discipline. Are you organized? Do you keep your word to yourself? If you tell yourself you're waking up at 5 a.m. and then you hit snooze until 7:30, guess what? You've just told your subconscious mind and the universe that your own word doesn't matter. If your word doesn't matter to you, why would it matter to anyone else? Setting standards begins with honoring your own commitments, especially when no one else is holding you accountable. Now let's talk about relationships. One of the biggest reasons people get disrespected in personal or professional relationships is because they fail to communicate and enforce their standards. Most people are scared to have boundaries because they're afraid of conflict. But avoiding conflict just invites chaos. When you don't speak up, when you let things slide, when you say, it's fine, but deep down you're not okay, but you create silent contracts with people. And every time you stay silent, you reinforce the contract. You train people that your boundaries are flexible, your standards are negotiable, and your self-worth is on sale. The standard you walk past is the standard you accept. If you let someone speak to you with disrespect once, they'll do it again. If you let a client underpay you, they'll keep doing it. If you let friends treat you like an option, don't act surprised when they only call you when it's convenient for them. People are always watching how you respond, and they calibrate their behavior based on how firm your standards are. Enforcing standards doesn't mean being rude. It means being clear. It means looking someone in the eye and saying, this is what I expect. This is what I don't allow. And if that doesn't work for you, that's fine. But this isn't the place for you. That kind of clarity repels the wrong people and attracts the right ones. The wrong people will get offended. The right people will get aligned. It's not your job to convince people to treat you well. It's your job to demonstrate how you treat yourself and to only allow people in your space who meet you at that level. And here's something most people won't tell you. Setting high standards will cost you. You'll lose friends. You'll lose deals. You'll have fewer people around you. But the ones who remain, those are the people who truly respect you. You don't need everyone. You just need the right ones. Standards are a filter. They don't just protect your time and energy, they protect your future. This isn't about being perfect. This is about being precise. Decide what's acceptable in your world. Decide how people are allowed to speak to you, how they can show up in your life, how they can interact with your vision, your time, your energy. If someone falls below that standard and you let it slide, you've just told them and yourself that the standard doesn't matter. And once you do that, it's no longer a standard. It's a suggestion. And people ignore suggestions. Standards should make you uncomfortable. They should stretch you. They should demand more from you than your current level. And they should absolutely intimidate the wrong people. When your standards are high enough, Most people won't even try to cross the line. Not because you yelled, not because you threatened, but because no, you won't tolerate it. Say no without guilt or explanation. Most people are disrespected not because others are inherently rude, but because they don't know how to say no and mean it. They've been conditioned to believe that saying no is rude, selfish, or confrontational. So instead, they become people pleasers, overcommitters, and silent sufferers. And what happens? They end up overwhelmed, frustrated, and full of resentment. Not because others are taking too much, but because they never had the courage to draw the line. Saying no is one of the most powerful ways you assert your value. It tells the world that your time matters, your priorities matter, and most importantly, you matter. When you say yes to things that don't align with your purpose, you're actually saying no to the things that do. Every time you agree to something that doesn't serve you, you're robbing yourself of time, focus, and energy. And worst of all, you train people to expect that behavior. They'll come back again and again because you've shown them you're always available, even when it costs you. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. You don't need to justify your no. No is a complete sentence. Not no, I'm just really busy right now. Not, but maybe next week. Just no. Because the moment you start explaining, you invite negotiation. And once people think they can negotiate your boundaries, they'll push every time. When you say no with clarity and confidence, something powerful happens. People start to respect your space, even if they don't like it, even if they push back. They learn quickly that your boundaries are not suggestions, they are rules. And people follow rules when they know you won't break them for anyone. Understand this: guilt is a manipulator's favorite tool. Some people will act hurt, disappointed, even angry when you say no. That's not your problem. Their reaction is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to yourself, your goals, your peace, and your standards. And if someone can't handle your no, they were never entitled to your yes in the first place. Learning to say no without guilt is not about being cold or heartless. It's about being honest and aligned. It's about knowing who you are and what you're available for, and refusing to apologize for it. When your no is clear, your yes becomes powerful. People know that when you say yes, you mean it. There's trust. There's integrity. There's respect. Practice this in the small things. Say no to distractions. Say no to obligations you've outgrown. Say no to conversations that drain you. Say no to people who only call when they need something. The more you flex your no muscle, the stronger it gets. And soon the people around you will stop testing it because they'll already know what the answer is. Master your craft. Become undeniably valuable. Respect follows excellence. If you want people to treat you with seriousness, it starts with becoming someone they can't ignore. Not because you talk the loudest, not because you chase attention, but because your results speak volumes. In any field, in any room, a value commands attention. When you become exceptional at what you do, when your name is associated with quality, discipline, and results, to die today. People take notice, even if they don't say it out loud. The problem is most people want respect before they've done the work. They want to be praised before they've produced anything meaningful. But that's not how it works. You don't get respected for potential. You get respected for a proof. You earn your place by showing up over and over, delivering at a high level, no matter what. That's how you become valuable. Not just in your career, but in your relationships, your community, and your life. Mastery takes time. It takes obsession. It requires that you say no to distractions, that you sacrifice comfort, that you go deeper than everyone else. While others are doing just enough to get by, you're refining the details, sharpening your edge, and pushing past average. And here's the secret. When you operate like that consistently, you stop chasing respect. It starts chasing you. Value isn't just about talent. It's about consistency. It's about being reliable, about showing up every time like it matters, because it does. When people know they can count on you, when they know you don't miss, when they see you hold yourself to a higher standard than anyone else could ever demand, that's when they start treating you differently. That's when they start asking, not telling. That's when they make room for you at the table instead of overlooking you. And this isn't just about work. This applies to every area of your life. Become a better communicator. Learn how to listen. Learn how to lead. Become the kind of person who adds value to any room, not dominating it, but by elevating it. You don't need to be the smartest, the most educated, or the most charismatic, but you do need to be excellent at what you do and take pride in doing it. No one can disrespect someone who's mastered themselves because they see the discipline, they see the preparation, they see the results. Even the ones who don't like you will have no choice but to respect the way you carry yourself, the level you perform at, and the impact you make. Being valuable doesn't mean being flashy. It means being unshakable. Quiet excellence is louder than fake confidence. Let your work speak so loudly that you don't have to. Let your discipline set the tone in every room you enter. And let your value be so evident that no one even thinks about disrespecting you. They're too busy trying to rise to your level. Walk with clarity, confidence, and conviction. People respond to certainty. If you carry yourself like you don't belong, if you speak like you're unsure, if your energy says, I hope I'm good enough, you've already lost ground before you've even opened your mouth. The way you walk into a room, the way you hold your posture, the way you speak, and the way you make decisions all communicate something far more powerful than your words. They communicate your inner state. And that inner state is what determines how others perceive you. Clarity means you know who you are, what you want, and what you stand for. You've taken the time to define your values, your vision, and your direction. Without clarity, you drift. You fall into other people's plans. You adopt their standards. You lose yourself in their expectations. But when you're clear, you become immovable. You're not here to impress. You're here to express. You're not reacting to life. You're directing it. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is certainty born from self-awareness. It's not pretending to know everything. It's knowing that whatever happens, you can handle it. Confidence comes from preparation, from discipline, from staying true to your word. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. Every time you show up when it's hard, you build inner power. And the more you do that, the less you feel the need to prove yourself, because your life already proves it for you. Conviction is the final piece. It's the force that drives your actions. It's the energy behind your words. It's the reason people listen when you speak and follow when you lead. People may not always agree with you, but they will respect your conviction because they can feel it. Conviction is what separates the ones who talk from the ones who lead. It's what makes people pause and say, that person knows exactly what they're about. When you walk with clarity, confidence, and conviction, people stop questioning you. Not because they're intimidated, but because they're impressed. They see that you don't need approval. You don't need validation. You're not asking for permission to be great. You've already given it to yourself. That energy is rare, and people respect what is rare. If you want to be respected, carry yourself like someone who respects themselves. Stand tall, speak clearly, decide quickly. Stop second-guessing yourself in every moment. The world doesn't need another hesitant, half-committed, approval-seeking version of you. It needs the version that knows exactly what it brings to the table and is unafraid to walk away when that table doesn't match your standard. Stop seeking approval. Own your identity. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is to constantly look for it. When you live for approval, you put your self-worth in someone else's hands. You let other people's opinions become your measuring stick. You start shaping your behavior, your voice, your choices, not based on what's true for you, but based on what you think will get you accepted. That's not strength. That's survival. And people don't respect survivors. They respect leaders. Owning your identity means getting brutally honest about who you are, what you value, and what you will no longer apologize for. It means dropping the act, removing the mask, and showing up as you, even if it makes people uncomfortable, especially if it makes people uncomfortable. Because the truth is, no matter what you do, someone will dislike it, no matter how agreeable, kind, or flexible you are. Someone might as well be disliked for being authentic rather than liked for being a watered-down version of yourself. Approval seeking is a form of control. You try to manipulate how others see you, hoping they'll accept you. But that's a trap. It's exhausting, and it's never enough. Today they like you for being polite. Tomorrow they want you to be quieter. Next week they want you to be less ambitious. Where does it end? The moment you let other people define you, you lose the power to define yourself. And the world stops respecting you because it sees you don't even respect yourself. People respect authenticity, even if they don't agree with it. They respect someone who stands on their truth, even when it's unpopular. That kind of person is rare. That kind of person can't be manipulated. When you own your identity fully, you become untouchable. Not because you're perfect, but because you're rooted. You know who you are, you know what you bring, and you no longer need external validation to feel whole. Stop letting to be chosen. Stop waiting to be invited. Start living like someone who already belongs. Your worth is not up for debate. Your truth doesn't need consensus, and your presence doesn't require permission. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand out, not through volume, but through authenticity. When you stop seeking approval and start owning your identity, you shift the dynamic. People either rise to meet your energy or fall away from it. Either way, you win. Because you're no longer chasing acceptance. You're attracting alignment. Let actions speak louder than demands. The moment you have to beg for respect, you've already lost it. Respect isn't something you shout about or try to force. It's something you earn. And the way you earn it is through consistent action. Words are cheap. Everyone can talk. Everyone can promise. Everyone can say what they would do, could do, or plan to do. But only a few follow through with quiet, unshakable consistency. And those are the people the world respects. You don't need to argue with people about your value. You don't need to remind anyone of your standards, just to live them. Let the way you move tell the story. Let your discipline be the evidence. Let your work ethic, your energy, your habits, and your results make it undeniable. When people see you show up early, stay late, keep your word, and operate with integrity, even when it's inconvenient, they notice. Even if they never say a word, they feel the weight of your presence. If someone disrespects you and you constantly talk about it, complain about it, or try to convince them to change, all you're doing is reinforcing their behavior. You're showing them that your power is still dependent on their choices. But when you stop talking and start acting, by pulling back your time, raising your standards, and enforcing your boundaries, they feel the consequences of their actions. And that's what teaches them. People learn more from what you allow than what you say. You can tell someone not to cross the line 100 times. But if you let it slide even once, they'll believe the line was never real to begin with. But when your actions are aligned with your values, when you show that you mean what you say by how you move, people adjust. not out of fear, but out of recognition that you're not someone to play with. This also applies to how you handle setbacks. When things go wrong, when people doubt you, when you face failure, don't explain, execute. Don't announce what you're going to do, just do it. Let results speak. Let excellence be your language. The ones who doubted will fall silent. The ones who respected you will stand taller. And the ones who never saw you coming, they'll never forget your name. Respect isn't requested. It's recognized. And the most powerful way to earn that recognition is to embody it through your actions. Relentlessly, consistently, and unapologetically. If you truly want to live a life where no one dares to disrespect you, it starts with becoming someone who refuses to disrespect themselves. Set standards that make people rise or walk away. Say no with the strength of someone who doesn't fear losing what isn't aligned. Master your craft until your presence becomes undeniable. Move with clarity, confidence, and conviction so loud it silences doubt. Stop chasing validation and start owning your identity like it's not for sale. And above all, let your actions speak such volumes that your silence carries more weight than most people's noise. Respect isn't given, it's earned. And once you become a person who embodies that truth, the world won't have a choice. It will adjust to you.